Hello and welcome, I'm Raziel. So, it has finally happened. It has come. The time to play one-page rules without a 3D printer has come. Well, to be fair, if you went to Mini Factory, you could, buy the models themselves. And so, there's always been this. But they have now announced a box set, a two-player box set with Star Hosorians and Robot Legions. And honestly, I'm quite excited about this. I know my demeanor may seem otherwise, but yeah, I am actually really excited because I think this is a great thing. The more opportunities to change and play different games is always good for an industry. Any industry, it doesn't matter, because choice, variation, these are absolutely good things for keeping a market alive, because competition is good, right? It means that you can play a game and enjoy it, and you could say, well, I prefer this game over this game, or this game does this bit right, and I don't like what this game does, so I'm going to stick with that. And it means that the people who make these games can see this feedback and see how what it's like, and hopefully work upon it, and then therefore improve their games, hopefully beating out a different competitor. And it is a good thing, and I'm sorry, but this is one of the best things I've heard in a long time. I didn't even know why I apologise for that. Yeah, you can tell I'm British. I apologise for everything. And so, sorry about the croaky voice. It is the launching on September 23rd, so just over 3 weeks, just under 3 weeks. And I don't know how much it's going to cost. I cannot tell you this. I do not know. But given the price that, one-page rules tends to be, I would say max 150, but likely to be about 100 to be in competition with like Firefight, Wild West Exodus, and every other game like that. So that's literally sort of a price mark we're seeing a lot out now, about £100 for a starting box. And it is kind of exciting. Now, what do you get? Well, it actually doesn't tell you this in the press release, or in the advert, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really tell you what the individual models are, which is a bit of a shame. I would like to see it, but looking at it, you do get some nice big models. You get a nice big dinosaur and a nice big robot, which is cool. I don't know what they're called, but it looks cool that you get these big models. I like having armies where you get an army, you get a nice centerpiece. So many mod companies are starting to do this. I just got the Firefight Assault and Exum, and the Forge Fathers having a tank, and the Vermin having the big drill. Yeah, this is good. This is something that I think a lot of people should be doing. Wild West Exodus, you got Nikola Tesla, which is a nice centerpiece model, and you got Gustav Eiffel. These are nice centerpiece models. So yeah, it's going down the right route of what you need. There's 77 models. 37 for the Hosorian Star Host, and 40 for the Robot Legions. And honestly, they look really good. Okay, and I am kind of excited. There is a caveat to this, and this is entirely my own personal perspective. This is nothing to do with the quality. This is nothing to do with the models and how they're made, or how they're it's actually how they're made, but the quality of them or how good they look, it's nothing to do with that. This is not, like, I've got to say this, and it sounds really stupid in this day and age, I've got to sort of preference this with my saying this is my opinion. They are pre-built models, right? That is something I do not like, and this is my preference. Preface this, I should say, not preface this. Yeah, that is my preference. I don't like pre-built models. I like to build models. I like the idea behind it because they says basically you don't need to build the models. You can just get into a game straight away. It's a good idea, and I like that. But again, I'm not a fan of pre-built models. I like to build. It's my favorite part of the hobby. You get the quick start guide. I'm trying to work out which has the one-page rule sheet. Trying to work out how they do a quick start guide. One-page rules being one-page rules. Here's a quick start guide. Oh, it's just your rules. Good on you. Thank you. And you can, of course, expand your forces via the Army Forge, their app, which is cool. I love that. And you get the tokens, counters, dice, playmat, everything you need to play the game. I honestly think this is a good move forward because we're getting so many great games coming out now from other companies. And One Page Rules is a fantastic game, and I really do enjoy playing it. However, because they're pre-built, I never really liked buying the models. I don't have a 3D printer. I don't have time to 3D print. I'm not against 3D printing. Unfortunately, my job means I'm not at home a lot, so I don't really have the time. And so it's just that so having pre-built models, kind of not my thing, but they are good-looking models, and I think they are some of the best. The Star Host has been particularly absolutely fantastic. And it's very much a basic box, a box I cannot really argue with. It's something that Mantic does with Kings of War, and they kind of do it with Firefight to a lesser degree, which means you get the rules and that's it. I don't have issues with that. I think that's actually quite cool. You don't get any lore with Kings of War in the modern boxes. You get a bit of lore in Firefight. And so you're not getting really any lore about your armies in this. You're just getting the rules and that's it. There's nothing wrong with it. I think that's quite good. You choose the models how they look like and then you just play. Absolutely great. I think it's great. So it does a bit of a description of what it is. Saurian Star Hosts are ancient coalition of humanoid reptiles led by frog mages. That just sounds so cool. I miss those days. I'm going on a bit of a tangent here. I miss those days where things would be released, like comics or books or models, and you just think, damn, that's a cool idea. Conquest are doing it well at the moment with their, not Dracome, Wadron, because cowboy orcs riding dinosaurs is one of the coolest things. And I love Wild West Exodus because cowboy robots. I like cowboys. Anyway, and then you got the Robot Legions, or a faction of robots made up of android foot soldiers and supported by high-tech vehicles and larger non-humanoid robots. I really do like this. And like I said, there's 77 models, and there's a couple of big ones in there, which really stokes the fire. That's something I really do like the look of. I don't have a price now, but when I get the price, I will, inform you guys. And, like I said, it's about 150 is what I think would be a good price for this, being pre-built models and the pricing of in Mini Factory for one page rules models on their own kind of sort of says that might be the highest price. But given the competition right now, most boxes being £100, I would say that might be the closest. Again, this is just looking at Firefight, Warlord Bolt Action, Wildest Exodus, Dystopian Wars. Conquest is weird at the moment. I've got to do a video on what Conquest is doing. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing, but I do have to do a video on that one. They don't really focus on two-player games. But two-player games, we're looking at £100 on average. Again, not a bad thing. It's exactly what it needs to be. Everyone competing with the same price. So am I excited? I am actually really excited for this. I think it's really cool. It's called The Grimdark Future Broken Truth. And one thing about One Page Rules, which almost everyone who plays it will tell you, it's a great game because of how quick it is. It's like, they say 60 to 90 minutes, and 60 to 90 minutes for a game this big. Yeah, I can see that. So there's some scenery in there which looks like MDF or cardboard. Either or is good. It might be plastic. But yeah, good box. It looks cool. I like it. I really do. And I think it's something I am hoping more people will get into One Page Rules because of this box. 3D printing is not a bad thing. I'm just going to just finish up with this point. 3D printing is not a bad thing. I'm not against 3D printing. I will say that if you want to, support a different company, don't 3D print, buy the models, give them money so they can keep going. But 3D printing, I don't have no problems with. But I think one of the biggest hurdles for one-page rules was the 3D printing aspect. A lot of people think it might be overcomplicated, and a lot of people might think we don't have enough time, and what happens if you mess up? You feel like you've wasted money by trying and you messed up. But some people might see it as a hurdle. Quality of a model is not so good, etc., etc. Right? So this box coming out is great because it bypasses all those hurdles that people might think about 3D printing. Anyway, so the one-page rules box set coming. Yay. Looking forward to it. I will definitely be getting it. I'll see you in the next one. Have a lovely day, and I hope you have a great one. If you wish to save money on your wargaming, up to 20% off and free delivery after £20, of course, there is Wayland Games down below, as always. Pardon me. There's also Forbidden Planet for comics, DVDs, mangas. There's my merchandise, links in the description. Skyforge, give that guy a click. And let's just get my mate Chris up on the Google algorithm. And finally, Patreon, business. Bye-bye. 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 Have a lovely day.